What is going on, guys? Haven't made a video in a while. Been super crazy at work, but anyway, just wanted to get this out there. I just got off a call with Christian at Darnton's. He's, I think, like really grown in the Palantir community. He's got some really objective views. I really suggest you check him out. But that video is probably going to be edited and cut, or probably not. But whatever Christian chooses to post, that's on him. So look out for that. It was really good talking to Christian. So if you're watching, really enjoyed it, man. But anyway, guys, so there's a lot of really interesting topics we touched on that pod. But the one things, like a few things I want to touch with, this is going to be a quick one, okay? A lot of folks coming from Tesla and stuff, right, in Palantir. I just want to address something. That's me too. Like I hold both. And Tesla is still very largely my number one just because I got into it so early. And Palantir, I'm building up, more shares as we go and as it's low right now. I haven't bought anything since like a few months now, but I will once the money comes in. But anyway, the thing is, it's very important to understand Palantir is a really misunderstood company, right? There's a lot of good people in the community spreading good news about it, but it's very important to understand this is not something that people dream about, okay? I know Chad Palantir, you're probably dreaming about it, man, but a lot of other folks, this is just an enterprise software product, guys, okay? Tesla is a little bit of a different story. This is exactly why Tesla is not Palantir and Palantir is not Tesla. So it's very important to not sort of conflate the two, okay? Tesla, there are literally kids that are dreaming, right, to own a Tesla one day. There are adults that are dreaming to own a Tesla one day. Teslas have become sort of like this, piece of resistance that sits in someone's driveway, and they're like, oh, they'll come to you and ask you, oh, how does it drive? How's it like? Electric, blah, 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 right? There's a lot of community just based on the people that drive and use it, right? That's one of the big growth factors of Tesla. Palantir is not like that, okay? So it's important. That's why, one of the reasons why Tesla doesn't need a marketing and sales department, all right? Alex Karp has been very critical of this in the past, and Peter Thiel, by the way, in his book 0 to 1, described exactly this as being not the way to do software. You can't just build it and they will come field of dreams, approach to it, because that's a engineer's dream, okay? And I'm an engineer. I've dealt with the business side. I know lots of salespeople. I'm telling you right now, sales is an art. Sales is an art. It takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot to sell software. And you need that in a software company. If you think that you're going to build the best software and people are just going to come knocking at your door, you are going to be sadly mistaken. And Alex Karp has finally realized this, and he's going to modularize and make it easier for his salespeople to sell. And that was one of the big problems I had, which was Palantir is such a thick product. It's so big where I think it's the most valuable product in the market, but do other people, right? A lot of times these IT companies, the VPs and the people that actually make the decisions, they don't want to buy things like Palantir because it's going to completely overturn everything that has been done in their business or organization for years. So that's one of the things that you really have to keep in mind, okay? So people aren't sitting there in their beds being like, oh my God, one day, guys, one day I'll have enough money to own Foundry on my local computer. Come on. Okay, so just keep that in mind. You have to look at it a little bit differently. Now, that's for the company itself. In terms of the stock, it could very well be just as high in terms of your returns and stuff like that. I don't think it'll 20x in a year or something like that, but it's definitely going to get to that point where it's going to be very lucrative, and that's why I'm invested in it as well. So in this line of business, you need that three-prong, the trifecta of software businesses, which is basically good product, good marketing, good sales. You have to have those three, okay? Sometimes one is better than the other. It's not exactly balanced. You usually want the product, for example, to be way better than the marketing, and you want the sales to be way better than the product. Do you see what I'm saying? Marketing should be like very targeted, very narrow, very sort of like, decisive in approach, in terms of the approach, but you want something to be this mature for you to actually be able to sell. So in that part, they actually already have one part of the trifecta, which actually is a huge advantage. A lot of companies, when they build software, they build and they sell based on futures. They don't actually sell you what they fully have. They'll try to sell you something that they're going to work in the future and say, buy it now, work with the professional services team, and we'll get you the the rest of it at some later time or whatever. So it's very important to keep that in mind, okay? So please, guys, if you're going to do any research, look at it from that light. Right, that's one of the reasons why something like B2C is not specifically needed, from my opinion. And that's also one of the reasons why they might, at least right now, struggle with competing. Okay, that's also, by the way, why they're doing a lot of stock-based compensation, because they need to hire talent. You have to hire talent, and if you're not a company that markets, and it's not a household name yet, Palantir, right? Maybe for the meme stock community, but other than that, it's not exactly a household name. It will become like that. Right now, all I'm looking for is a good sales cycle. We want that first domino to fall. Okay, guys, We want that first big Microsoft, whoever, some Google, like some other big company or a big bank. Banks are huge. We want one of these big sort of players to adopt Palantir. Airbus is great. Merck is great, but they're very niche. They're big players, but they're big players in a niche market. So they're like a big fish in a small pond. Okay. What you want to do is you want to try to get the big fish in a big pond or lake or whatever, ocean, whatever the next large body of water is. Okay. That's what Palantir needs to strive to achieve. And they're doing that. They're hiring lots of salespeople this year. And I think that's going to be one of their goals that Alex Karp talked about in the quarterly calls that he did. It's also important that they realize this early, and I do think that they're early. It's not important to see when the company is created, rather when the latest piece of software that they're selling is created. So Palantir might be an old company, but Foundry is only 6 years old. 6 years for product maturity for IT is actually not that long. But for Palantir, they were able to achieve a lot in that 6 years. Look at the demos. It's such a massive product, right? So all they got to do, ramp up the sales, folks. If you guys are good salespeople, feel free to hit me up on Twitter, man. You see my channel thing up here. But yeah, if you're sales folks and you had that experience or whatever, talking to Palantir and stuff, let me know. Let me know what you think. If you want to come on the pod, let me know what you think. But more importantly, that's the stuff I'm looking for. Also, by the way, I want to kind of inform you guys that me and Sean from Invest to Live are working on this new project together. At the end of the day, guys, both of us are dads. Both of us don't have, we have pretty lucrative day jobs and stuff like that. So it's very hard to push out content every day and that kind of stuff. And there's lots of folks that are already doing that. So feel free to get your sources from there if you want everyday type of stuff. But because we are both dads, because we're both investing for our family, and we wanted to give something that's a little more grounded in terms of approach. So what we're planning to do is actually do like a collective podcast where it's going to be just like a bunch of dads talking about investing and stuff like that. Palantir is going to come up every now and then, but we're trying to just really educate as many people as possible. I understand that there's a lot of vigor in the Palantir community and stuff, but this is more important for the overall investment strategy and things like that. So definitely Sean is going to carry some of that in terms of the investment side of it. We're just going to have a lot of fun just talking as dads, talking as people that are in the investment community. And look out for that. I'll let you know more details as it comes up, but I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that I'm working on that with them. And hopefully you guys will enjoy that when it comes. But it'll be on a new channel, and I'll give you guys an update at that time. So if you're on Twitter, if you're following me on Twitter, then you'll know about that ahead of time. But when that channel does come up and start going up, I will post that on this channel as well. So I just wanted to get that out to you guys. I'm super busy this week, but I hope the rest of you guys are having a fantastic Friday, and I wish you nothing but a beautiful weekend. That's it for me. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.